We've just been laughing because we were wondering what day it was of the lockdown, and it's actually only day 2.
Officially
day
We've
2.
really had 3 though. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah.
We have. But I hope you're all doing well out there. We thought we'd just check in and give you an update on what we've been doing. So we've been pretty busy here. We have, I made a woodshed yesterday out of some old bits of wood laying around, and Charlotte and the girls stacked all the wood in it yesterday, which was cool. And what was it you were doing yesterday?
Oh, I did have a sleep.
Other than the sleeping?
The girls and I did learnt to crochet off the TV.
Oh, crochet. Did you actually finish anything?
Not yet. I think they've kind of given up. Lucy was quite good.
So that's what's been keeping us busy. We've just been thinking about, over the last 2 days, how this is so much like it was when we were on holiday, when we had hard times or we were stuck in countries with no phones and no internet, and we were basically felt like we were on lockdown.
That a year away with your family is really good training.
Really handy.
For a lockdown.
So what we thought we would do is that we would give you 5 tips on things that we discovered or learnt to do when we were away to help us get through.
I feel like that makes us sound really arrogant.
We're not being arrogant.
These are 5 things that we found were good for us, and it helped us. So if it can help any of you, awesome.
Then that's all cool, because it's a very similar situation. You've basically been thrown into something that is totally unfamiliar. You're normally out at school, or you're out doing your job or different things throughout the day. You're not used to, apart from on the odd holiday, of spending this much time in each other's company. So here's the 5 tips, and we hope you enjoy them. Or we hope they help you anyway. Number one, in a situation like this, where it's pretty uncomfortable and things are very different, is be easy on yourself. Be easy on yourself and be easy on others around you and your family members.
Yeah, be kind to yourself and gentle on yourself, because this is not a usual situation. This isn't something that you've done before. Even when you have time off during the year, you've usually got annual leave, you've planned something, you're going doing something. You're not locked down in your house with your family for however long. So be easy.
So be easy on yourself. You're going to have days where, you're going to fall apart in front of your kids, or you're not going to cope as well as you normally do. And kids are going to have bad days where they're just driving you up the wall. They're in the same boat as you. This is totally different for them as well. They're feeling the vibes of your energy when it's low, and when maybe you're scared or worried about your business, or worried about money, or where food's going to come from. They can feel all of that. So
be kind. Be compassionate.
On
for
each
what
other.
They're going through as well.
And know that when people are having a bad day, that's okay. Let them have their bad day, and know that they're going to wake up the next day and it should be all good again. And they're not doing it on purpose. It's just because they're struggling. So number 1 is be gentle on yourself and be gentle on each other. It's really important.
That doesn't mean that you let them your kids get away with stuff.
No.
But maybe realise why it is that they might be doing it.
Instead of just pulling your hair out and thinking, why are they making me so crazy right now? Number 2 is to create space every day for each of you. And what we mean by create space is to have time set aside where
you've got nobody
you're
else
on
around.
Your own. There's nobody around you. It's pretty simple. Some of you might remember, if you went to camps back in like the 80s and early 90s, I'm showing my age quite a bit here. If you went back to camps, you used to have a thing after lunch normally, which was called quiet time or quiet hour or something like that. And you'd all be sent to your bunks or to your rooms or something, and you're not allowed to talk, and you lay on your bed and you read or you draw or you do something which is just quiet. And that's another good thing that you could maybe do that in terms of creating space.
Yeah, and it doesn't even have to be everyone going to their rooms or anything. It can be Mum gets out for a walk around the block by herself.
On her own, which is important.
It's the by yourself bit that's important.
Yeah. So Charlie
even if the kids they might go and they might just do a puzzle by themselves or do something by themselves. That's maybe not screen time because that keeps your head busy, but it just gives them space of their own to just be.
It's really good for the kids to do that. And Charlotte and I would get up in the morning, we'd say, right, you go for your walk at 3, I'll go at 4, and that's how we would structure it. Also, in terms of creating that space, I would use my exercise. And so I would say every day at 4 o'clock I wanted to do an hour of exercise, and that was sort of my time. And we used to stick to that as much as we could. So that's number 2, create yourself some space. Number 3, which we found really handy, was we just got lost as to what number we were doing, got them mixed up. Number 3 is to create some routine. Everything that you know has just been thrown out the door. There's no work to go to, there's no church on Sunday, there's no school, there's not going out at night to see your mates. So everything's upside down. And routine has gone out, and if there's one thing that kids need, it's a bit of routine. And it's also good for the whole family to have routine. So
we don't mean be strict about this happens, but just have some kind of a structure, like maybe the kids are going to do some schoolwork in the morning, we'll do something fun in the afternoon, loose routine.
It just means that the family knows what's coming up and what's going to be happening.
And what's expected
in this which is important.
Time.
And just gives you a little bit of direction, because it's so easy that when you have nothing to do, that you actually end up doing nothing. And once you get into that trap of sitting there and starting to feel bored, then it can start to be quite negative on how you feel and how the family around you feels. So really, really try to create your routine and put things in there like exercise or like spending this time on your own for the family, and say, right, we're going to do this after lunch every day. But you need to think ahead and put them in.
Yeah, I think also having some form of a routine rather than just gliding your way through the next 4 or whatever weeks, I think you just it'll make it more fun for the kids.
A bit more
because you'll have this, we know we're going to do this. And then if you do something spur of the moment or something different, it's way more exciting than just easing it into part of any day.
It's funny because we're having to start to reinstall these things into our lives, and we're only 2 days in, and we were sitting here yesterday and thinking, wow, this is just like traveling. These are what we have to do because this is what got us through the tough times when we were traveling. I've got my bit of paper here. Number 4 is to set challenges for yourself. Maybe set some I was talking to my brother yesterday, and he said that him and his partner Joe have decided to do a 4-week exercise course, which is just fantastic. You've got 4 weeks at this stage.
You can actually achieve a lot.
Yeah.
You could get good at something.
Yeah, start learning a language or get on the internet and start researching something. Wow, it does. But that's what we did. But otherwise, you can walk around your house in circles for so much time and actually do nothing. So
or create a list of, you're going to spring clean the garage, or you're going to just something you've been meaning to do for ages or wanted to do for ages. Actually do it.
You got the chance to do it, so get stuck into it and do it. And that will sort of stimulate yourself. Distancing. It'll stimulate you. It'll make you feel like this whole period isn't a waste of time. It'll make you feel like you're actually going to achieve and accomplish something. And that's the best medicine you can have if you're feeling down.
And if you are stressing about this time, about work, about what's happening, if you have a challenge or something like that for yourself, then for the time that you're focused on that, you're not stressing about other stuff.
The 5th, and probably one of the most easiest things to do and to change in life, and this goes for kids, this goes for parents, this goes for everyone, is to learn to breathe, learn to be mindful of your breathing. And I know you may be sitting there and thinking, this is hippie, airy fairy hippie Rob. I really learnt overseas that breathing is, well, it's quite important, don't you think? But I learnt over there how to use it and to be mindful of it to change my state and how I was feeling. And we met a guy called Jimmy, an old guy that we met in a backpackers in Thailand. And I actually made a little video which I'm planning on putting out after this one because it's so important that people see it and listen to it. But he talks about the fact that you need to be conscious of your breathing. If you're feeling miserable or you've got all this stuff racing around in your head and you don't know how you're going to cope and you don't know if you're going to have a job and you don't know where your money's going to come from or if your business is going to be there in 4 weeks, breathe. Just take 3 breaths and just start really slow with your first one. Breathe it right into your lungs and then all the way out. And just 3 simple breaths when you're feeling like that can change you 100% and change your situation. It can calm a kid down from a panic attack. It can calm a kid down from crying. A perfect example. Come over here, Katie. Come over here.
Tell us about Italy.
Tell us about what happened in Italy. Can you tell the camera what happened in Italy? We're talking about breathing.
Yeah. So in Italy, we were staying at a campground, and I climbed all the way up to the top of the hill, and then I must have stood on something, and then wasps started stinging me, and then I started screaming, and then my dad was like,
Lots of
"Breathe."
wasps.
So we were down the hill, and we could see her with these bees swarming, and they were wasps.
As you would.
But she'd stood in a wasp, and she was freaking out, and I couldn't get to her, so all I could say was, breathe, Kate, breathe, Kate. And what happened?
And then I breathed, and then it was so much better, and then I was calmed down, so I climbed down the hill, and then it was...
Settled you down, didn't it?
Yeah.
It was amazing to watch, and I almost wish we could have got it on camera.
Amazing to
but
watch.
she went from getting, was it 8 or 9 stings, was it?
8.
8 wasp stings, and in some really sore positions, and just the fact that she listened to me and heard my voice and said breathe, and she took 3 or 4 breaths, the next minute she was calm, and the crying and the panic had gone, and she was walking down the hill. So all I'm saying is breathing is really good for the whole family, and if you feel like things are getting on top of you, stop and take 3 breaths, and then do that throughout the day whenever you think of it, and soon they start to create, as Jimmy would say, as a little island. So if you're more interested in that, stay tuned for the next video, because I think I'll put that video back up because it's so important. So thanks, Kate, for coming along. That was perfect timing. We snuck next door. We're at the neighbours.
You can hear the
which is an Airbnb, friends of ours, and they're next door. So we hope you found something out of that useful. We definitely found it useful last year.
It's good to remind ourselves.
It's good to remind ourselves, and that's what we're trying to get back to as well. So hope you're all safe, and hope you've got everything you need. If not, call some loved ones, and we'll see you again soon. Live free. See you later.